Blue Dolphin here, and we're back getting into exercise 4, working with kernel, boot modules, and files. This is going to be a good one. Let's get into it. Without further ado, jumping right into things here, let's get started. So the introduction reads, welcome to the Working with Kernel, Boot Modules, and Files practice lab. In this module, you'll be provided with the instructions and devices needed to develop your hands-on skills. Awesome. The tags read kernel, boot modules, files. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the learning outcome. So we'll be working with kernel commands. After completing this lab, we'll be able to check Linux kernel version and work with kernel and module files. These exam objectives are covered 104.1, create partitions of file systems, and 1.4, given a scenario, manage storage in a Linux environment. So they fall under that category. Awesome. Let's go ahead and click next. Next, and just jump right into it. So our servers are on. All right, so the learning outcomes, starting with exercise 1, a kernel is the lowest level software, which is responsible for interfacing with the system hardware. It interfaces with the applications to the physical hardware of the system. It is important to note that a kernel can be replaced in a Linux system. In this exercise, you will work with various kernel commands. Our learning outcomes will be logging into a Linux system, check the Linux kernel, and work with kernel module files. Cool. So let's just jump right into it then. Task 1 is to check the Linux kernel version. All right, no problem. So let's open up our terminal on the Ubuntu server. Looks like we have errors. Let me restart these virtual machines. All right, the labs are up and running here. So let's just get right into it. Our learning outcomes. We've been over, so we're going to jump straight into the exercises with step 1, which is, of course, jump over to our Ubuntu machine and open a terminal. So let's do exactly that. And we're going to be asked to look at the kernel version number. We can do that simply with uname -r. And it's 5.00 generic. All right, cool. What if we just do uname? So it says Linux. I like that a little better. I don't know why we went straight to the R. I feel like we should have typed uname first. But that's okay. So let's look at step 3 here. We want to display a little more information. We're being told we can use uname A. There we go. So we have the operating system, the host, a little about the specific versions. I forget how the versioning works, but I think it's something like version, update, patch, something like that. Not really sure. And of course our architecture and GNU Linux. Okay. So what we'll do now is we want to display the kernel name with -s, which I guess we kind of already knew, but that's cool. It's good to play around with this. Now we're going to look at the network node host name with -n, Cloud Linux 2. All right, now we're going to look at the release date, which is going to be with -v. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that. I like that. May 6th, 2019. Probably needs an update or two. Okay, so let's go uname -m to look at the system and hardware type. So x86-64. Awesome. Okay, looks like now, step 8, we're going to display the kernel version and information from the proc version files. Let's go cat proc version. Oh, and I guess that's just where the information's being held. Very cool. All right, step 9, we can fetch the kernel version information with dmessage. We'll go grep Linux, dmessage grep Linux, and it just, I think dmessage just kind of checks everything on the system. Let me just check here. So print or control the kernel ring buffer. Oh no, it's definitely kernel specific. All right, well that's cool. Not sure how useful it is to look at the kernel in a million ways, but it's good to know. It's good to know. All right, let's work with the kernel and module file. So we're going to go ahead and type lsmod. No idea what this is. Oh, it's displaying all the modules. Okay. Look at that. JoyDev. That sounds fun. Glue helper. I basically don't know what any of these are, to be honest. I know IP tables for routing, floppy, PS mouse. Cool. Okay. So step 2, we are going to view a specific mod. So we're going to go lsmod, and then you just grep. So this is just a basic grep command. Okay, cool. Yep, seems straightforward. This is neat though. I would like to know a little more about these modules. Can we get maybe like a description? Like I've just like, what's PS mouse? It's not going to give us a description actually. No point doing that, but it does say over here in the challenge tab that this task uses the HID module to display information. You can choose any other module that is currently loaded. Cool, okay. Now for step 3, we are displaying general information about a particular module. All right, now we're talking. This is what I want to do. This is what I paid for. I just kidding, I didn't pay anything. Okay, mod-d IP underscore tables. IPv4 packet filter. Wow, so we need to do this for a lot of things. So I've never just looked through the modules on a Linux machine. Let's see what's the HID business about. Well, I guess they just told us actually. That's weird. Nothing came up, which is kind of odd. Don't know how I feel about that. Let's try PS mouse. Whoops. Command not found. Let's do it again. Mod info tac d PS mouse. Ah, just PS mouse driver. Okay. Let's list all our modules again. Let's see if I can remember how. Oh yes, ls mod. And then we go mod info dash d. Let's look at what's parport. It's nothing. All right, let's look at what's xtables. Backend module to do with IP tables. All right, let's do joydev. Mod info dash d joydev. Joystick device feature. Cool. I wish I had a joystick. I don't. That'd be neat. All right, let's move on. So that's really cool. Happy we learned that. We can also find information about the author by doing mod info dash a. So D is going to be for details, A is for author, I'm assuming. So let's see, who created joydev? I know the description says IP tables, but we're going to do mod info author joydev. Wojtek Pavlik. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, let's do mod info author IP tables. NetFilter core team. Cool. How about HID? This suspicious one with no description. Oh, there we go. 3 people. That's pretty cool. All right, now say we want to find the actual location of the module. We're going to go mod info dash n IP tables. It looks like for step 5. All right. Cool. Yeah, lib modules makes sense. That's kind of neat. All right, let's jump over to step 6, which is to find module dependencies. Module dependencies I can see being important, especially if we're having errors. So let's look at IP tables. And you can see it relies on X tables. Okay, well, how about X tables? What is that dependent on? Well, let's see. Nothing. Has no dependencies. That's my type of package right there. Okay, we're now going to display all modules loaded in the kernel. Pretty sure we just did that, but we'll do it again, I suppose. Okay, step 8 now is to remove a module loaded in the running kernel. Blah, wow. Okay, let's go. Sudo rm mod IP table. Oh boy, removing IP tables. Not sure that's such a good idea. Let's do it anyways, see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to assume that happened. If we go ls mod, we won't see IP tables. Yep, definitely do not see IP tables. So then step 9, they just have you check to confirm it's not there. Confirmed. All right, now we're going to add IP tables. Cool, that's pretty easy to remove and add. We're just going to go sudo mod probe IP tables. I spelled probe wrong. Sudo mod probe IP tables. All right, so then step 11 is to use ls mod and just confirm IP tables is there. If we scroll up, we should see it. And there it is, IP tables. Cool. All right, well, that was fairly straightforward lab. That's kind of neat. Let's do the questions. Which parameter of the uname will display the kernel version number? I'm going to take a guess that it's D. No, D doesn't even exist. Okay, A. All right, I'm gonna say, let's just try them all. It's like Pokemon, gotta try them all. Okay, so D. Okay, so R. So R also. I'm pretty sure that's the kernel version number. So then perhaps R is the more appropriate response because it's straight to the point. So let's go. Well, let's look. Let's go. Uname, tac help. R kernel release kernel. Okay, so kernel version is V, but it's not an option on the exam. So let's look here. Okay, so the kernel number is actually 16 Ubuntu. Interesting. Right. Okay. So I think the appropriate response is going to be R. No. A. Yeah, so we can't do V. A is our next best bet. Let's submit that off. It was wrong. It is the R version. Well, that doesn't really make sense to me. If you look at the help, it literally says kernel version. They're referring to the kernel release. That's fine though. We all make mistakes. I'll let them pass with this one, and we'll submit it as R. All right, next one. To display more information about the details being distributed, what parameter should we use? I'm going to say A for all. To display the kernel name, which parameter should you use with the uname command? I'm going to say S, because I'm looking at it. Print the kernel name. Let's go uname, attack S, and Linux. Brilliant. All right, to display the network node host name of the Linux system. I'm going to guess N for network, and I think... Oops. Can't submit nothing. All right, next question. Which parameter should you use with the uname command to display the kernel version and date? I actually have no idea. Is it all? Can I just do A? Yes. It'll be A. No, it's V. I see. Oh, yes. We didn't get the... Well, we did get the date with tac A. Just saying, but V, it's more precise. What's a more appropriate answer? Because it's specific to that. It's not all-encompassing, so fair. All right, let's submit the report. Your report has been finalized. You'll click here to view the report. Okay, cool. I guess I'll complete that. Boom, back to title. That's done. The next one is going to be working with relative and absolute paths. Wow. See everyone in the next video.